Hey everyone, welcome back to Collecting Nolan. This is Russ, and we're going to take a look at some more eBay sales from the week of 12/7 through 12/13. The way I like to do it is, so the entire list isn't made up of Nolan Ryan rookie cards. I just take the highest seller of each card, and I try not to include the card more than once unless there's something special about it. But let's go ahead and get started. Number 10 is the 1971 Topps number 513 in a PSA 7 that sold for $870. There are 1,326 PSA 7s of this card. 852 copies of this card or higher. Other PSA 7s of this card sold this week for between $417 and $699. Number 9 is the 1970 Transagram side panel in a PSA 9 that sold for $1,199. There are only 4 PSA 9s of this card and 2 PSA 10s. So this card is found on the side of a 1970 Transagram box that commemorates the 1969 Miracle Mets, which contains starting lineup type figures. There was a back panel of 3 cards that include Nolan Ryan, Tug McGraw, and Cleon Jones. The back panel card is definitely on my list of dream cards. If you want to learn more about the Transagram card, you can see that in my main episode 2 video that talks about Nolan's 1969 and 1970 seasons. Number 8 is the 2021 Topps Heritage Real One Red Autograph, number 2 out of 72, in a PSA Gem Mint of 10 that sold for $1,399.99. This version of the card has been on the eBay episodes before, only that one previously was a PSA 10 for both the grade and the autograph. That one sold for $1,030. There are 6 Gem Mint 10s of this card in the PSA database. Number 7 is the 1977 Topps number 659 base card in a PSA 9 that sold for $1,499. There are 292 PSA 9s of this card and 21 Gem Mint 10s. A PSA 9 of this card recently sold on eBay for $1,480 last month. So this current sale is pretty consistent. This card is hard to get centered. This card looks okay centered wise, but is slightly off left to right, at least to my eyes. Number 6 is the 2016 Topps Archive Signature Series Nolan Ryan 1 of 1, and it's from a 1971 Topps Buyback PSA 5 that sold for $1,500. This is a pretty sweet card, but I really don't know exactly how these work. As you can see in the top left corner, this card has a stamp indicating a Topps Archives buyback signature. I guess they just offered to buy 1971s back from collectors, and then stamped them, and then this one was signed by Nolan as a 1 of 1. But if you guys know anything about it, please let me know. Other than that, I think this card's pretty awesome. Number 5 is the 1969 Topps number 533 base card. Although this card has been on here before, this is a near mint PSA 8 that sold for $1,709.34. There are 895 PSA 8s of this card and 183 cards rated higher. Recent PSA 8s of this card have sold earlier this month for between $2,025 and $2,500. So whoever got this card got a pretty good bargain. Number 4 is the 1970 Topps number 712 base card sold by Greg Morse Cards for $1,825. This is an absolutely gorgeous copy of this card. It appears to be perfectly centered with no real noticeable flaws. Greg Morse says near mint or better. A PSA 7 near mint copy of this card has sold in the past month for between $494 and $599.99, while a BVG 7.5 sold for $650. A PSA 8 of this card has sold in November for $1,428. What do you guys think of this card? Is it worth $1,825? Number 3 is the 1998 Donruss Elite Back to the Future Nolan Ryan and Greg Maddux auto out of 100 that sold for $2,300. The back of this card is signed by Greg Maddux. This is a really sweet card, guys. I found a PSA 8.5 in a private collection. There are no higher rated copies of this card in the PSA database. I think it's phenomenal. Number 2 is the 1971 O-Pee-Chee base card number 513 and the PSA 8 that sold for $2,335.22. There are only 35 PSA 8s in existence of this card and only 15 copies higher. These cards are hard to come by, especially in this grade. I could find no recent sales. These have the same front as the 1971 Topps, but the back is yellow as opposed to the 1971 Topps, which is green on the back. And finally, number 1 is the 1968 Topps Jerry Koosman Nolan Ryan rookie card, number 177, and a PSA 8 that sold for $8,609.09. There are 757 PSA 8 Nolan rookies. There are 201 copies of this card rated higher. I have no recent eBay PSA 8 sales to compare, but in my opinion, this is right around what one could expect to pay for a PSA 8. Whoever got this for Christmas must have been on Santa's nice list. And that wraps it up for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and let me hear some comments about some of your favorite cards in that group. But I guess I'll see you guys later. See you at the next one. Thanks a lot for tuning in.